Alright, mates, here's the rundown. Alright, I can't keep that act up. That's my cancel R&D3 voice if you didn't know already. But it's time to be somewhat serious for this one. Let's get right into the topic. Gaming. It's been a huge part of my life ever since I was a little kid, and I'm sure many of us have that in common at this point. If you love video games, drop a like and subscribe if you like what you see. Now, today, I'm sharing my current video game collection, which consists of a variety of consoles from multiple generations. Now, let me be clear, I collect the games that I have played many times throughout my life. I know that there are collectors out there that insist on having every title for every system and keeping them sealed. This isn't that at all. See, I want to continue to enjoy the games that are a part of my childhood, and not just sit on the shelf, you know what I mean? Let's start with the Nintendo 64. Now, it's pretty difficult to find these in their original packaging anymore, so I took it upon myself to make these custom cases for each one of these titles. You can get them on eBay for pretty cheap, and I believe they are just called Universal Game Cases. They fit NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, and even Sega Genesis games. Then, I went online and found each box art image and printed them out, and boom, I've got a nice looking set like this. Also, a nice little touch, I installed a GameCube style joystick into my Nintendo 64 controller because, as you all may know, the original joysticks in these things were pretty flimsy and got messed up during intense Mario Party sessions with your friends. And as you can see, some of these titles are missing their box art because I ran out of the printing paper that I was using and I never got more of it, but I'm working on fixing that very soon. And you can also see I did the same thing with the few Super Nintendo titles I have. And on top of that, as you might notice above those games, I have this beautiful device called the Superboy S. It's basically a portable Super Nintendo, which is pretty sweet. I've got a nice start on some games for that too. That was a little before my time, but I still got to play them growing up, and it was pretty sweet, and a lot of the games still hold up. Now, on to the next console. First of all, notice the Wavebird. If you know, you know. Anyways, this is the one I mainly played growing up, as you could probably guess after seeing the number of titles I own for this. This is the system I always catch myself going back to because of all the nearly flawless classics that were released on it. Most of these games you're seeing are CIB, or Complete in Box, collector terminology. A lot of these are very valuable and are still skyrocketing in price, so I'm glad I got these while I did, and you should too if you're thinking about getting into it. And who could forget about Blockbuster? This thing is a time capsule in itself. I picked this one up for about 10 bucks when my local store closed. Good times, guys. And look at that, it's even got the instruction booklet, so that's a bonus. Now, onto the GameCube's top competitor and the successor to the console that drastically changed the industry with 3D graphics, the PlayStation 2. First of all, notice that controller again. That's a wireless PS2 controller, which is a receiver-based made by Logitech. This is the highest selling video game console with nearly 160 million units sold as of 2020, and that is insane. Personally, I didn't have one of these growing up, but one of my good friends did, and he introduced me to hits like Sly Cooper, which is probably one of my favorites on this system, Jak and Daxter, and of course, God of War. Wow, that is an old school GameStop case. Crazy how time flies. Speaking of God of War, this is my special edition PS4 Pro, which came bundled with the latest entry in the series, which also turned out to be a complete masterpiece just like every other one in this series. Who would have guessed? But yeah, check out the detail on this thing. Pretty sick. Pretty proud of this piece in my collection, honestly. I really don't have too many games for my PS4. I do have more of them on the console itself, digital. One of the main reasons I got a PS4 is for the exclusives. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Sony's got Microsoft beat when it comes to that category. And a lot of these are collections. As you can see, I've got the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the Spyro trilogy, I've also got the Nathan Drake collection, and they've also got the Grand Theft Auto trilogy on the console itself, which comes with GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and of course, the best one, San Andreas. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, this guy's still got a 360, no one even plays that anymore. Yeah, you're right, but there still are a few good games that got left in the past and never ported over. I can hear the Black Ops 2 lobbies just looking at this thing. There were a lot of pretty good Marvel-based games released on this thing too, as you can see. And onto the system I probably play the most anymore, and that is my Xbox One S. No, I wasn't lucky enough to get a Series X at launch, unlike some more fortunate souls. Still, it gets the job done, and I'm ready to make the jump to next gen whenever it becomes more available with all of these titles. I do have a nice set of steelbooks too, as you might have noticed. And finally, here's my Switch library. Being Nintendo's latest console, it recreates many of the classics you may have experienced back in the day with beautiful color shades and graphics made possible by the latest technology the Big N has thrown together in this groundbreaking home and portable hybrid console. And that's pretty much it, guys. I plan on doing full playthroughs for every one of these games shown today, so if you'd like to see those, be sure to subscribe so you know whenever I put out a new video. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next one, I'm out.